Hi everyone, welcome to Dense Talks and Business. Yet another buzzing week has passed in Indian stock market. Let's get into that and how the news has influenced many stocks during the week. I had talked in my previous video about the market which may enter the consolidation phase. Yes, if you look back to the week, we may assume the market had entered the consolidation phase. 4 out of 5 trading days were closed on a positive note, which was minor gains, and the Nifty tested the crucial 12,000 level on Monday itself. Ironically, the market indices had recorded losses at the end of the week after the gains of last 2 weeks. The Nifty had registered a loss of 151.75 points and Census lost 526.51 points respectively. That means they had lost 1.28% and 1.38% of the week compared to the previous earning weeks. The market had witnessed a heavy bleeding on Thursday, 2.50% down, which caused the Census above 1,000 points loss in a single day itself. Also, the Census had settled down the end of the week below 40,000 level. We had discussed the Vedanta, which we need to look after on Monday because their delisting process has failed. Exactly, that caused Vedanta share price on Monday, which plunged over 20% and hit the lower circuit. The brokerage firms had cut their targeted price as well. The market was very keen on the GST Council meeting and fiscal stimulus measures, but unfortunately it failed to catch up the market expectations. The LTC cash voucher to boost consumer spending announced by Finance Minister to government employees was also not impacted positively, which is restricted to digital payments only. Let's get into that. At the GST Council meeting, the centre and the state governments could not reach any consensus on GST compensation dues. But Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had affirmed the centre could facilitate borrowing for billing states. The centre had provided 2 borrowing options to states in August to either borrow rupees 97,000 crore on account of GST compensation through a special window facilitated by the RBI, or to borrow a complete shortfall of rupees 2.35 lakh crore, including rupees 1.38 lakh crore due to COVID from the market, and many states are opted for the first, which most of them ruled by BJP. There were many states that had raised many questions at the GST Council meeting, including Kerala. They raised that could the GST Council have any power to avoid the borrowing plans of the states which were already taken. The centre responded that the GST Council can take decisions on cess, they can collect cess and can extend the period of collecting cess as well. All state governments could use borrowing options and do business. GST Council had increased the collection of cess period over 5 years. The states asked why can't the central government borrow for states. Finance Minister said that the government had already a borrowing calendar for the financial year and anything beyond that could affect the bond yields. More borrowings will increase the GSEC yield, that means government securities that lead to borrowing cost. She said it is not what the government never envisaged. States could borrow more and that does not impact heavily. On Monday, the UTI AMC had listed on the market and had lost 40%. Except IT and pharma, all the other sectors ended in red. There was major power failure in the financial hub of Mumbai, but It did not affect the activities in both indexes. On Tuesday, Wipro board approved the share buyback of worth size rupees 95,000 crore. Share buyback shows how well the company has cash flow in their hand. Apple has launched iPhone 12 series and was a main event during this pandemic situation. There was a rally in IT stocks, but selling in banking and financials, pharma and FMCG, fast moving consumer goods stocks entered the indices with marginal gains. On Wednesday, the IT sector ended in losses around 1.28% after the 2 days rally, while the banking sector had gained 1.63%. The market was in loss during the day but recovered smartly because the market expected a favorable outcome in the interest waiver case. Yes Bank. It's been a long time in the news in markets. It reported that it classified Cox and Kings as willful defaulters of rupees 1,862 crore rupees. Cox and Kings is a non-banking lending unit and related entity of Zigo Vanza Travel and Tours. The quarter results of Infosys is one of the highlights in the week. It published the quarter result after the market hours and beat the market estimates. Reported a consolidated profit of rupees 4,845 crore. But the stock price of Infosys had lost 1.89% on that day because of negative performance of the IT sector as a whole. But before it touched an all-time high of rupees 1,166.05 on that day. The market had a negative emotion on Wednesday because of the news from IMF, International Monetary Fund, World Economic Outlook database, which said Bangladesh will take over India in per capita gross domestic product (GDP) this year due to economic lockdown. Tata Chemicals had gained 3.38% and Tata Consumer Products gained 4.45% on Wednesday. But Tata Motors failed to reach 150 mark and it had lost 2.54%. On Thursday, it was a forgettable day for all the sectors. There was a news that Indian banks had the worst total returns in quarter 3 2020 while the Bangladeshi lenders shined. Again, Yes Bank, which topped the list of worst performing banks with a degrowth of 48.63% in quarter 3 2020. On GST compensations issue, the centre would mediate and borrow to meet a revenue shortfall of rupees 1.1 lakh crore and pass that on to the states, which the liability belongs to the states and doesn't add to centre debts. On Thursday, Infosys, which is my favorite, had again crossed its highs and reached an all-time high of rupees 1,186, then lost to rupees 1,108.25 because of the sharp losses of the total market. Coming on to the last trading day, which is Friday, the market had narrow gains. But on sector-wise, the metal sector had outperformed. Tata Steel gained 4.19% on that day. News of the day was the ban on AC import by the central government. It helped local players like Voltas, Blue Star, Johnson Control, Havells India, which owns Lloyds. Voltas had gained 4.65%. It will impact the complete AC unit, which is around 28 to 30% of AC import volumes, and majority of imports comes from China and Thailand. The recent blockbuster IPO, which is Happiest Minds Technologies, lost 4.45% on Friday. So friends, these were the brief analysis of the market last week. Market may consolidate here onwards. Let's look ahead at what's in store. American presidential election is coming up very soon. Global market had a significant influence in Indian market too. Hope you enjoyed my session. Please get me notified of your relevant comments and valuable times with me. Thank you.